Hello everyone, this is Algebra 1 review guide for the first unit. It is on solving equations as well as some implicit equations down here at the bottom, and on the back we got some word problems. In this video I am going to be going up until number 5 with solving regular equations, and then we'll go into the other ones on my next video. So here we go. I'm going to be showing all my work and explaining steps to hopefully help you. Number 1. 3 times 4x plus 1 minus 4x plus 3 equals negative 18. So the first step for these things is, if you can, you always want to distribute. So on this question, we can distribute because there's this parenthesis. So to distribute, you're going to take this 3 and multiply it by both of these things inside of the parentheses. So 3 times 4 is 12, so 12x, and then plus sign, so 3 times 1 is a plus 3. And the rest of it, I'm just going to drop down here, minus 4x plus 3. Not doing anything with that yet. In our next step, if we can, we are going to combine like terms. So anything that has an x, you're going to add them together. Anything that does not have an x, you're going to add them together. That is assuming they are on the same side of this equal sign. And as you can see right now, pretty much everything is on the left side. So I'm noticing that there is a 12x and a negative 4x. Both of those have an x, so they are like terms. And when you have like terms, you are just adding them together. So it's a 12x plus a negative 4x. So 12 minus 4 is 8. And then we have this 3 right here and another 3 right here. So once again, combining like terms, you're just putting them together. 3 and 3 make a positive 6. And this is still equal to negative 18. All right, what would be the third step? Would be to get x on one side. But in this case, x is already on one side. It's already only on the left. There's no x over here. So we're going to go straight into the fourth step, which is to solve for x using a two-step equation. In this case, now that we're down to everything just on one side, this is a positive 6. It's on the opposite side as the 18. So you will have to subtract 6 from both sides. That way this will cross out and you end up with just 8x. Over here, a negative 18 and a negative 6 makes a negative 24. Like that. And then, since this is an 8 times x, you would divide both sides by 8. Those would go away. And this right here is just negative 3. So the answer is x equals negative 3. I'll put it over here. There you go. That is the answer. So if that's still kind of making sense, kind of not making sense, you can either pay attention for number 2 or you can rewind the video to watch this again. I always recommend, if you need to, rewinding and rewatching, or at each one step, like pausing the video to see if the one step makes sense before going on. So just keep aware of that. In the video, you can pause, you can rewind anytime you need to go whatever pace you need. All right, onwards to number 2. In number 2, normally the first step, as I said over here, is to distribute, but there's nothing to distribute. It says you would combine like terms, but there's no like terms, right? On this side, there's a 12x and a 9. Can't put them together. 10x and a 15. Can't put them together. So we're going to go straight to getting x on one side, because we do have an x on the left and an x on the right. So they are on opposite sides. You will do the opposite thing. So this is a positive 10x. I will subtract 10x. All right, opposite sides, you'll do the opposite thing. So 10x minus 10x goes away. 12x minus 10x is a 2x. And then you just kind of bring down the 9 and the negative 15. So 2x minus 9 equals negative 15. I recommend pausing the video, see if you can solve it there for yourself, and then unpausing, and I'm about to solve it. So since this is a negative 9, we're going to add 9 to both sides. Goes away, and you get 2x. Negative 15 plus 9 is going to be, I think, negative 6. And then if you divide both sides by 2, that'll go away. You get x equals negative 3 again. Woohoo! There you go. All right, on to the next one. Number 3 is weird because it has an 18 minus and then a parenthesis opens up. So up here, the first step, distribute, believe it or not, you still do it. Anytime there's a parenthesis, it will involve some kind of distributing. It's just right now, in front, there's only a negative sign. But that's kind of like a negative 1. Because with multiplying, if there's no number, it's a 1. So the first step you have to do is distribute this negative sign right here. Now, just to let you know, this is a very common thing in test quizzes and practices. Almost every teacher will eventually give you some problem where there's just a negative sign that you have to distribute. I know over here it comes up, there's an 8, but if it was a negative 8, you'd have to distribute a negative. But if there's no number, it's just a 1. So you do have to distribute this to get a negative 8x and then a positive 7, because a negative times a positive is a negative, and a negative times a negative is a positive. 18, we're just going to put it there. 67, we're just going to put it there. Step 1 is just distributing. Next up, combine like terms. On this side, I only have one x, so there's no like term with the x. But it does look like I have an 18 and a 7. So since they're on the same side, you just do that, you add them together. 18 plus 7 is 25. And then the negative 8x is still just there. Whoops. Motion sensing lights. Gotta love them, gotta hate them. There we go. Combined to get 25. That just went there, that just went there. This is now a thing where you can just solve it. There is no x on both sides, so we're good to go with just subtracting 25 to get rid of it. Negative 8x equals, oh boy, let's see, 25, 67, that'll be 42, positive 42, yeah, 67, yep, definitely 42, okay. And then divide by a negative 8. 42 divided by 8 is not a whole number. That stinks. Oh well, you can simplify it. These are both divisible by 2, so you could make it a 21 over 4. And I think that's as much as you can simplify it. And there you go. In the next one, if you feel like you're getting a hang for this, just go ahead, pause it, and try it yourself. Otherwise, I'll pause it every step so you can pause and see if you can finish it. First step, what's the first step? If you said distribute, you'd be right. You'd get a 16x and a minus 12. Cool. What's the next step? On opposite sides, it looks like there are some like terms. 3x and 16x. 3 and 16 makes 19. On the right side, there are no like terms. What's the next step? If you know it, do it. There is an x on both sides, which means I do need to get it on one side. So how do I move this over there? It is through subtraction. So you just got a 2 on the right side. And then 19 minus 14 is 5. And we'll go ahead and solve from there. So go ahead, if you can, pause it and solve it. That does not simplify, so that's just the answer. Good times. All right, last one for this video, and then I'll do the rest on the second video. Yeah, this one's a good one. So like normal, you would distribute. You'd get a 6x plus 15 equals a 3 plus 6x. So distribute. Not like terms can't combine. So the next step is to get x on the same side. So I'm going to have to move this 6x over there. Since it is a positive 6x, you would subtract 6x from both sides. And you just get 3. And then 6x minus 6x, well, that kind of cancels out too. And since that cancels, the only thing you have left is 15, and there's no more x. So this is one of the very special cases where you cannot solve for x, right? In all the other ones, there was an x, but there are going to be some times where the x's cancel out on both sides, in which case one of two things will happen. Either what you see here is true, or it is false. So is 15 equal to 3? No, it is not. That is false. That means there is no solution. So no solution is the answer to this question. Now, if you did this process and you got something like 7 equals 7, that right there is true, so your answer would be all real numbers. So as you can see, there's no example of that on this paper, but I'm just letting you know that's the other thing that could happen. If x's cancel, then you'll either get something that makes no sense, 15 equals 3. That's no solution because it's not true. But if at the end these canceled out and it was like 7 equals 7, then that would mean the answer is all real numbers because 7 does equal 7. All right, that is it for this video. Hopefully it has helped. If not, then I don't know. You can rewatch it, you can try pausing between it, or ask me questions sometime. Have a good one, and I'll see you on the next video.